Hi, welcome back to Four Corners Ministries. I want to say right now that the Church of America, they're asleep. They're so asleep, it's not even funny. A lot of churches are now requiring Mass for Sunday worship. I have a few words for them. The same word Jesus told the apostles to do something and they doubt him. O ye of little faith. Matthew 6:30 says, Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of all the field, which today is, and tomorrow is cast in the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Matthew 8:26. And he saith to them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Matthew 16:8. Which Jesus perceived them, he said unto them, O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? Let's take a look at Luke, the book of Luke 12:28. If then God so clothe the grass, which is today in the field, and tomorrow is cast in the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O ye of little faith? That's the churches in America right now. That's the church in America, not the capital city. Several churches around, not several, a lot of churches around the country. Let's name a few, for example. One in Knoxville, Tennessee, are choosing to require members to wear face coverings to worship. For the congregation at Transformation Church in Knoxville, Tennessee, wearing a mask is a new way to worship. The executive pastor, Drew Carson says, people need community. People need to be in community, so we're going to keep going as long as we can. So what's one of the steps? Wear a mask. Everyone wear a mask. These are his words. It keeps going. It wasn't mandated for place of worship, but we're truly wanting to be the hands and feet of Jesus and do what he would do. I think Jesus would want to take care of family members, and Jesus would probably have worn a mask too. This guy's got to be nuts. Jesus healed the sick. He spent time with them. The whole time he was doing it, he didn't wear any mask. He wasn't afraid. I guess he thinks the Son of God wouldn't have been protected. I'd stay away from a preacher who thought that about Jesus and preaching that kind of stuff. And then we go to Washington, D.C. Several leaders said they're still waiting for state and local guidance before opening. Why are you waiting on the government? Open your church. Don't listen to the government. You would obey God. And his minister, David Salisbury from D.C. area, said, from the Henderson Church of Christ, said, honestly, you missed no pushback from it. Wow. It's unbelievable. Our leadership was really united behind it and just said, this is the law and we're going to follow the law. Hey, guys, read Romans 13 and don't sugarcoat it. Don't take it out of context. And in Delaware, the state recommends, while singing during services is permitted, choirs are not to be utilized for singing during services. The state says solos or duets can be performed as long as singers are 10 feet apart. Come on, now you have the state telling you how to worship, when to worship. These tyrants, these governors have gone too far. We're not to obey man, we're to obey God. We're to obey righteous laws, not unrighteous stuff, telling us how to worship, when to worship. Next it's going to be, well, they're already doing it in some parts of California. You can't gather in your house now. You can't have Bible study in your house. Anyway, back in Delaware, the governor, John Carney, his guidance calls for a centralized collection location be used rather than passing a collection plate. Now we have the government telling churches how they should run their services, how they can collect, the tithes and everything. And I just want to say, there's this one pastor out there who's very well known on YouTube, and that's a pastor named Greg Locke. I agree with him. Wake up, church. Just wake up. I understand people want to be safe. I also understand that you don't need a building to worship God. Many churches offer services on the internet or Facebook nowadays. If some people didn't feel safe, by all means, wear a mask. But don't let someone force you to do so, especially in a place of worship. If you're willing to submit to unjust laws now, what will you do when the day comes you're forced to decide if you're going to take the mark of the beast? After all, Some of these pastors will say, we need to obey the government. Thanks, guys. See you next time.